So what about this phenomena called pleasure and pain? I think we can have a identification of or a definition of what is pleasure and what is pain, and then I'll probably go into the next video where we'll get into this phenomena of wanting pleasure and avoiding pain. Very good morning. So let's understand the scheme called pleasure and the scheme called pain. I experience pleasure or I experience joy under what circumstances? Physical pleasure, intellectual, emotional pleasure, joy, whatever. Or the other side, physical pain, intellectual pain, emotional pain. I feel so sad, emotional reasons, feeling the pain. I don't agree with you. I get very angry, intellectual pain. Oh my God, it hurts, physical pain. So what is the nature of pleasure? There are various degrees, but we'll not get into that right now. We'll just look at it as a very simple classification of what is liked and what is not liked. Pleasure or happiness is a scheme where an object of comfort or love or something that you like is available to you without any hindrance or restriction. I'll define that again. Something is pleasurable, something is a source of joy when its availability to me is ensured, hopefully without any restriction. Nothing stops me from being in touch with or connecting to that source of liking, comfort. So when there is a connect with that, for example, I'm saying at this point of time, suppose the mind is saying, it's a very hot afternoon. I think it's a terrific time to have a glass of beer. So there's this beer, you can't get a bottle of liquor. Of course, you can order and all that, but you've got to make an effort. Shit. Terrible time. So the source of joy somewhere is that what you want to have is beer, and there is a restriction and there is a distance between the two. And as a result of that, there is a dissonance, there is irritation. But assuming that my mind says beer, and all that I need is to go open up the fridge and I can pick up a bottle of beer, which means my object of desire is available without any restraint. I'm saying, wow, it can be a milkshake, it can be an ice cream, it can be whatever. It can be a thing, it can be a food, it can be an experience, it can be a person, it can be a girlfriend. So a source of comfort, an object of desire is available to you without restriction. That is joy, pleasure. You experience pleasure interacting, indulging in that. I think the opposite is pain. You don't want something, but that is present, and that becomes pain. So this feeling of physically something which is drawing your attention, or the nerves giving a signal of this particular kind, this is not something that I'm used to. This is not something that I prefer. Okay. So when this one, which I don't prefer, is present, I experience pain. Because the reality is, it is present and it is telling me, hello, I'm there. That is all the truth about it. But the mind is saying, but I don't like it. That's the point. Sure, and that's how many things happen. I'm into a discussion or I'm into a debate, and that person gives a point of view so powerfully and strongly, it's not acceptable to me, but it is pushed down my throat. I hate it. I really don't like that person. I don't like the situation. I want to just get out of that place. Pain, intellectual pain. Emotional pain, I want to be connected to that person. I try my best. Let's say I'm a youngster, very, very fond of one particular person, wanting to reach out and become friend with him or her, and there is a rejection, emotional pain. So when the object of desire is made inaccessible, there is pain. When there is an object of dislike present, there seems to be pain. But all of them, I want to tell you, are matters of our conditioning. How is it? Very simple. You just take a simple example of food. Let's say bitter gourd, the bitter gourd, right? Parikas, we call it. That's a vegetable. It's a vegetable after all. It has got its qualities. Or radish, it is pungent. It has got its qualities. So there are people who do not like something being bitter. And people like me, I love the bitter gourd. I can eat half a kilo of that all by myself. Why? Because it's a mental conditioning. Over a period of time, I have taken a liking to that. I don't eat non-veg. Why? I don't have a liking to that. I'm not in a position to take a liking to that for various reasons. So for somebody that would be a great degree of comfort. So for me, both emotionally and physically, it will be a pain to eat non-vegetarian food, or let's say meat. I don't. So it's about conditioning. So the moment I realize that it's about conditioning, but you may say that, hey, emotional and intellectual pain, one can understand, but what about physical pain? And the truth is, right at this point of time, what I'm saying is that the tolerance level of my body to experience certain things as acceptable is of one particular kind. When something happens beyond the tolerance point, then I'm saying it's pain. That's the truth. So I'm not used to this saying hello to me. So what can I do about pain? I think the first thing that I needed to do was to say, yeah, I recognize that you're there. Okay? And I'm not going to indulge into a mental exercise of wishing you away. I wish it was not there, because it's going to be present. All my mental gymnastics, emotional gymnastics is not going to help me to take away this physical reality called pain. So I think the first thing that is required is acceptance, and vice versa. Emotionally, if there is going to be a pain of loss, a pain of hurt, I think the mind all the time battling, saying, but I don't like it, but I don't like it. You may like it, you may not like it, but you're going to live with it. I think the first mature thing to happen is to recognize and accept pain. The mind has been conditioned to only seek pleasure because we have beautifully integrated ourselves into this world of objective reality by saying either this or that, and we want only the either, which is pleasure. If you become a little broader in your mind, recognize the pain and say, yeah, I know you're there, and I know that you are there, maybe because of reasons I understand or reasons I don't understand. But I'll acknowledge you at this point of time. I'm not going to get into a mental pressurizing exercise of battling it all the time, saying that why are you there, why are you there? Because there is nothing I can do about you being there. I have to give myself time. I got to think through, I got to work through, and I got to probably do something so that I have a lesser experience of you. Acceptance and calm reflection, I think, is the first step towards dealing with pain. So I would today hold it at this. So that's what I did. I accepted the pain, and then I said, I got to do logically a few things. There is no point in just battling it and disliking it, hating it, whatever. So I called up my dentist, and of course he remembered as to what it could be. He prescribed a few things, and the medicines would come. It would take maybe about 2-3 days for him to see me, which means I got to be mentally prepared to have it out there. The friend is still there. Even as I'm talking to, he's quietly, in a very lighter kind of way, saying hello. And I'm saying, yeah, fine. But I think I'm comfortable enough to continue this conversation, which means I'm living with the pain, but I'm managing the pain. The pain is not a source of irritation as much as probably it was in the morning. Acceptance and a calm, a very measured and a very deliberate looking at it on the face and saying, okay, you're there. What do I do with you? Is the engagement with pain. Just because we are conditioned to engage only in seeking and being with pleasure and joy, it does not mean that we are not capable. We have immense capability to deal with the other side. I'm not saying seek, but let's be patient with pain. Let's probably partner with pain as long as it exists out there and gradually give it a farewell if you don't want it. But let's not fight with pain when it's a reality. Good luck. All the best.